My name is Kamita. It means heart of the family in the Algonquin language. My given Christian name is Patricia Turner Whedon. I am a member of the Wampanoag Nation. I was born in Mashpee on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I'm 60 years old, and I thank the Creator for giving me the years that I have here. And I come from a small Indian village. When I grew up, we knew all of our relations, and now we have a lot of development that saddens me. And I know we can't stop progress, but it saddens me to the degree that it's going. And I thank you for asking me this privilege to share some of my thoughts with others.
Our first question is what you feel the purpose of the Confederation is, and also your presence being here representing your people.
Last year, my husband sent information to me about the Confederation, and prior to that I didn't know anything about it, but the papers told me what it was about, and I felt in my heart that however I was to come, that I would work hard at trying to be here, because I feel as elders that it's our obligation to share our knowledge as much as we can with others. And I felt it was so important, it didn't matter how I got here, that I would somehow get here, because I wanted to talk with others. And I think as Indian people, we talk about the seventh fire, and that's what we're in this time period right now. And for me, what's coming through to me is that we're in a time of sharing and giving, and it's a time of sharing and telling our stories, because we come from an oral tradition, and what is coming strongly through is that it's a time to share our stories and to communicate with others.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the seventh fire and explain what that means?
Myself, I'm both traditional and Christian, and sometimes people say, well, as an Indian person, you can't have your feet in two canoes. You have to choose one or the other. And I beg to differ with them, because I feel comfortable in both places, and I think both places have much to give, and I take that. But when I say in the time of the seventh fire, sometimes if you look at it in a Christian way, it's in the book of Revelations that people feel that we're going, so that's the comparison.
And can you tell us a little bit about the prophecies that you've been around of your people? What has happened and what's happening to us today, and what may happen based on our behavior?
Well, I'll share a prophecy that came to me. Back in 1973, I was pregnant with my third son, and we had 4 sons in the 4 directions, and I felt honored by that. My husband at the time traveled and went to many meetings and things, and he attended a meeting in Old Town, Maine. And at that, I believe it was the closing of that Unity conference they held, that Mad Bear Anderson, medicine man, shared a prophecy with the people there, and my husband said that they were in a circle, all of the people holding hands, and the sun was at the highest noon, and that the energy was very high at that time. And when Mad Bear Anderson shared the prophecy, my husband had wished at that time that his family was there, but I was back at home taking care of the home fires. And we follow a tradition by the Delaware, the Lenni Lenape, and what we shared is that when we have vision or anything come to us, we wait until after breakfast to share it, and if it's meant to stay, it will, and if it isn't, it'll go away. But sometimes if if a person forgets part of what was told to them, then the other person can remember the other part of it. So that day he came and he had his breakfast, and it was after breakfast that I shared what had come to me between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning, and he just looked strange, and he got goosebumps on his arms, and he couldn't even speak. And then later he said to me how he couldn't understand how I knew verbatim exactly what the medicine man had said. And it was many years that finally we came across the individual was a medicine woman, and he told her what had happened. And she wasn't surprised by it at all. She said that when the circle was so high with energy and everybody was holding their hands and the sun was at the highest, that he must have wished that his family was there, and he mentally sent a message to me, and that's how I got the vision. And even though it was about almost 30 years ago now, I still remember. And when they had the sharing the other night, individual shared some of the prophecy that had come to him, and there was a piece that I had forgotten that he reminded me of. And this is what came to me, that I don't know the time, but it's coming soon, that something is going to happen over the top of this earth, Mother Earth. And that what came to me, it was not something somebody spoke to me, it was something within me. It's like the animals know when bad weather's coming, so they move along. Well, that's how it came to me, that because of what was going to happen on Mother Earth, that we as human beings had to travel to a safe place. And when we journeyed, the road was like this. It was like a earth color sand, light colored sand. And when we journeyed, it was like sometimes you see these cart paths where the middle is high and the ruts are lower than that. And that's what we were traveling on. And we were coming to the west, many people. And as we traveled, the sand, it was like sand. I don't remember, it seemed like it was sort of a barren area. And when we traveled, there was many people that were tired, some of the elders and the children, and they wouldn't make it, and you could see them sitting along the side of the way because they were so tired. And in my heart, I kept wishing that my family would be there with me, because I follow tradition, and my two brothers, sometimes they don't follow it as strong as myself, and so I was hoping that my family, my brothers and my nieces and nephews would come with me, because I wanted them to come along and be saved. And when we traveled, it was a long time. I don't know how many days, but when we came, it was to the center of the earth, the center of North America. And when we got there, it was like what was ever happening on top of the earth, that we as human beings had to go down into the earth. And when I got to Canyon Cedo, I knew that was the place that I had journeyed to, my spirit had journeyed to. And I just wept, because my husband said, "Why are you weeping? We should be happy." But it was just something that filled me so that I couldn't talk and I couldn't explain. And what happened is, when the people went down into the earth, it was quite deep, that there was water over top of us, and that was what is going to protect us, the water. And then when we started journeying up out of the water, it was like we walked under the water. And when we started up an incline, and we walked for a long time until we come to this ridge, or I want to say a threshold. And when I stood on the threshold, I could see like a dome everywhere this way, and it was like I was looking down into a deep valley where I could see all of my ancestors and all of the relations. And it seemed like such a peaceful place, that everybody was having much love from their heart, and they were at peace. And it wasn't like they were talking. It was like a mental telepathy they were using. And at that time, when I stood on the threshold, I thought, I'm here, I'm finally here, because it was a struggle to get there. And at that time, I woke up and I was crying because I had finally made it. And it was like a white light that was illuminating the place, that it was not a white light of this Mother Earth. It was something that was heavenly, I felt. And I felt that I had finally made it, and I would like to share that with the people. And I don't believe in gloom and doom, because I feel that Creator has those of us that will be going there, and that everybody won't make it. And that's how we have to look at life. There's balance in all things, because so many times people speak about overpopulation and things like that. And within my heart, and that's what I'm speaking from today, I don't believe in overbalance. I believe everything balances out, because those that are here on earth and they pass over, to me, it's just a beginning for a new life. And there's spirits there on the other side that maybe haven't completed their journey, and I feel they choose vessels, and this is my outer covering. And I feel within me that my spirit has been here many times because I haven't completed the work. And I'm not saying it in a boastful way. That's what I feel within my heart. I would like to add something to the prophecy that I shared earlier today. What came to me that I feel is most important that I forgot and left out is that on the journey, when we were traveling and the people were leaving their homes and traveling to a safe place, on that journey, what was shared was that we're in a society that is very materialistic. And at this time, when we journey to the safe area, we can carry nothing but the clothing and things that we have on our back, like a turtle. And I wanted to share that with you because I feel it's most important in this time and age that we're entering. Thank you, Tabatne.